Hi friends, today we are going to learn how to write a final draft copy. So, we have learned many steps in our writing process. When you are first given a topic, what is the first thing you should do? Say it out loud. What is the first thing you should do? What is this called? Say that out loud. This is called a brainstorm. If you said brainstorm, you are correct. Or maybe you said circle map. Circle map is correct also, but a circle map is what we use to brainstorm. So first, when you are given a topic, you first need to brainstorm. So you can see that this topic is my break. And then I put my break in the middle and I brainstormed all the things I did on my break. I circled the 3 that I wanted to talk about in my paragraph. Now, what is the next step after I'm done with my circle map, my brainstorm? Go ahead, say it out loud if you know. What is this called? Did you say an informal outline? If you did, you would be correct. You also could have said a T-chart. That would have been correct also. So now I use my circle map, those 3 ideas, those 3-star ideas that I circled, and I put them now on my informal outline. Okay, what's the next step after my informal outline? Do you know what this is? If you said accordion paragraph, you are correct. This is our next step. So now we are taking our ideas on our informal outline and we are turning them into complete sentences. Okay, now here is the final step in writing my paragraph. Now I'm going to write it as a true paragraph, what a paragraph should look like. So I'm going to grab myself a piece of paper. Okay, now for my final draft, I'm going to give it a title. What is a title? What does that mean, a title? Where have you seen titles before? What do you know about titles? Go ahead and say it out loud. Titles are names of things. You might see titles on books. But guess what? You can also give a paragraph a title. So what is this whole thing about that I have been writing? And I'll go back to the very beginning. What have I been writing about? My topic, my break. So I can decide from there what I want my title to be. So what I talked about was going to the park, celebrating Christmas, watching movies. Would it make sense if I titled my paper Disneyland? No, I didn't even talk about Disneyland. And the whole thing is not about Disneyland. Would it make sense if I wrote the beach? No, because I didn't write about the beach. I wrote about things I did on my break. So I could title it My Break, or I could just title it Break. So I'm going to go ahead and title it Break, and here's what you need to know. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this. Here we go. Okay, so titles go at the top on this very first line. They go in the middle. Titles are always capitalized. So My Break. Notice both of my words in my title are capitalized. Titles also are underlined. So they're capitalized and they're underlined, and they're in the center of my paper on that very first line. Okay, so I get a title. All right. Next, I need my accordion paragraph, because what I am going to do is I'm going to copy this accordion paragraph, all of my sentences, onto my final draft copy. I'm not going to have any colors. I'm not going to have any lines separating my sentences. My sentences are going to be all together. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to start with my topic sentence, and I'm going to make sure I have that 2-finger space indent. So let me zoom in one more time because I want to show you this red line here. Does anyone know what this red line is called? Say it out loud if you know. This is called a margin. And some of you might have a margin on your paper. And that's a really good guide for us when we are doing a 2-finger space indent. So I'm going to give a 2-finger space indent, and I'm going to start with the word there. And I'm just going to copy. Friends, I don't have to think of anything new. All of my words are already here. All I have to do is copy it onto my final draft. So there are many things I did on my break. Here's what I want you to notice, friends. I wrote on the lines. I wrote neatly. I have space in between my words. You need to make sure you're writing neatly on the lines. You have space between your words, and you're copying exactly what you already wrote down. Okay, so I already wrote my topic sentence. Now I'm going to go to my next sentence. First, I celebrated Christmas with my family. That's exactly what I'm going to write. So first I wrote my topic sentence. Now I'm going to write this first yellow. And look, I have some room right here. So I'm going to keep writing on this line. First, comma, I celebrated Christmas with my family. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my next sentence. Next, I took my kids to the park, because that's what I did. Next, comma, I took my kids to the park. Okay, next sentence. Last, we snuggled on the couch and watched movies. Notice I have more room. I'm going to keep writing. Friends, our sentences, when we're writing a true paragraph, they wrap around like a snake. They just keep on going. Okay, so I have room here. I'm going to continue my next sentence. Last, comma, we snuggled on the couch and watched movies. Okay, last sentence on the back. Here's my conclusion. Clearly, there are many things I did on my break, and I'm going to continue it right next to my last sentence. Clearly, there are many things I did on my break. And there you have it. That is a true paragraph and what it should look like. It does not have any lines. It does not have any colors. It has a title. It is indented. Friends, what do you notice? What is the same about my accordion paragraph and my final draft? And what is different? What's the same about them and what is different? Go ahead and call it out or think about it. So what I noticed, maybe you noticed too, is that the words are exactly the same. I didn't change anything. These are the same words. That's the same. They both have 2-finger space indent. I noticed that. What's different though is that my final draft has a title. And my final draft does not, again, have colors or lines. This is what a final draft looks like. This is your last step in our writing process.